Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tell Me About Your Dog, the show with one simple purpose to hear all about your dog and what makes him special. I'm Sam. I'm a CVT here in Florida. I'm a pet insurance advocate and lover of all things senior pets. Here with me on set today from the trenches of the veterinary hospital. Hi, Lauren. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience in the vet world.
So I have been working for Anna for the last 3 years. I started about 5 years ago. I started as a receptionist. I worked my way up to a vet assistant, and then I got hired with Anna as a full blown vet tech. She saw something in me, trusted me enough, and has taught me a lot about the veterinary world and keeping me on par with her other girls there.
That's awesome. Do you like working with her?
I love working with Anna. She's wonderful.
She is great. We love her. So how has your experience been going from a receptionist to a tech?
Those girls have it hard, let me tell you, and I
Mhm.
don't think they get enough, hoorahs sometimes, but that's a hard job, being the middleman a lot of the times. I had a hard time keeping up, and it's, emotionally more draining for some reason talking to people on the phone all day,
Mhm.
so
You're the first person to get yelled at,
yeah,
that's for sure.
exactly, yep, you get the rage and all the feelings and emotions, and we just
Mhm.
get what's wrong with the dog in the back.
Right, exactly. Shout out to our support staff. We love you.
We
We
do.
appreciate you. We cherish you. All right. Well, the obvious reason why we're here, tell me about your dog.
So, my dog's name was Vader. I don't have him in my care anymore. He actually lives with my ex-boyfriend. So that's kind of the whole thing is that was my baby, my angel. We had him since he was really small. 3 months old, we rescued him from Lakeland, from the rescue shelter over there. Pete actually wound up getting him by himself, and then I kind of followed in a little bit after, getting sucked in by the puppies. They're very cute. But yeah, that's my baby.
Aw, what kind of dog is he?
He is he's a little Puerto Rican street dog. That's where he came from. He was born with all
Oh.
his siblings there and then brought over. And we got him DNA tested, and it really says on there, mutt. It just says mutt.
100% certified good boy.
And 4% Shih Tzu somewhere in there, but he's a pretty big boy.
So did he come from Hurricane Maria? Was he part of that rescue or
I'm
completely
not
different?
I'm not exactly sure where at that point. But I know that his paperwork said that he did come from Puerto Rico.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So on that note, like you said, you had him with your ex-boyfriend, and then when you guys split up, he kept the dog because technically he was the one who adopted the dog and made that decision. Have you seen Vader since the breakup?
I have seen Vader. We I At first I tried to make an effort, to see him because it was really fresh, really new to see him once a week
Mhm.
or once every couple weeks at first, even though it's still painful to kind of see Pete sometimes, but it was almost harder to not see Vader through a
Yeah.
lot of it,
Yeah, well, you have that bond with him.
yeah.
It's like being torn apart from your child.
Right, it really was there for a little bit, and I feel like for a long time I'd already, mourned the loss of me and Pete's relationship,
Mhm.
but I hadn't mourned the loss of, Vader and our relationship.
Yeah.
So if you can relate to that at all,
Yeah, of course.
mourning live people, it's
Mhm.
difficult, so
Yeah, you not like you
and
said,
animals.
you not only have to mourn the loss of your relationship, which is very emotionally stressful, you have to mourn, okay, I don't have my emotional support to come home to anymore either. So
And that was very hard.
yeah, and I'm really sorry you had to go through that. And I know Vader probably still thinks of you though all the time, and
Oh, I'm
they don't
still his
forget.
favorite. I'm still his favorite for
They
sure.
never forget their
Oh,
mamas.
absolutely, and I taught him everything he knows. I did all his training,
Mhm.
everything.
So, in cases of divorce, Florida actually considers dog property. Offensive, I know. I
Yeah.
know. So, unlike children, there isn't a custody agreement put in place. The court will determine one person owner based on what's called equitable distribution. So, basically, who bought the dog, who has the emotional bond with the dog, who paid for the things, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, in your opinion, having gone through a similar situation, do you think that that should be considered in cases where people do adopt a dog together and then split? Not necessarily in the case where your ex-boyfriend did adopt Vader first, but if they make a decision to adopt the dog together, do you think there should be kind of a custody agreement discussed, or do you think it's better for the dog to just declare one owner?
It's a hard There's a lot of different factors that went into the decision with me and Pete. Yeah, Pete did wind up adopting him first and stuff like that, but it felt better at the end of the day to because we also had a cat together, so there was Vader and a Velvet,
Mhm.
both little black babies, and what it really comes down to is maybe in some cases like marriage and stuff like that, it would be a good idea to have custody agreements like well in advance, because
Mhm.
it was a real big emotional struggle for both of us and
Of
like having
course.
to even come to the decision of he was going to keep one and I was going to keep the other and separate them. That was also really hard as separating them.
Yeah, so you kept the cat.
Yeah, I kept the cat.
Let's go. We love cats
And
here
we
too.
do love
We do
kitties,
love
but
our
this is
cats.
about my dog.
Yes, this is about the dogs. Well, yeah, I definitely think that's a topic that's not talked about enough until it becomes an issue to talk about.
Right.
So you're right. I think there should be conversations ahead of time where couples say, okay, in the case that we were to separate, who would get the dog or how would we take care of the dog? Would we allow the other person to come visit?
Right.
I have a friend who split up with his girlfriend, a long-term relationship. They had a golden retriever together and he ended up moving out of state. So it made it a little bit easier to say, okay, she's going to keep the dog because I'm leaving, but he still sent birthday cards. He still sent birthday gifts. When he
Yep.
would go up there, he would visit her and get to see her. So they kind of had an agreement from the start that, okay, if something happens, you're still allowed to come around and see her.
Right.
So
Right.
that's definitely something we should consider. I don't think it's necessarily right to call dogs property and just say one hard owner, this is the decision, but that's currently how it is.
Yeah.
So I have a viewer question that I actually want to answer together.
Sure.
All right. The question is, what is something that secretly annoys vet staff? It's a good question.
Something that secretly annoys vet staff.
Or not so secretly annoys
Yeah,
us.
or not so secretly annoys
Do you
us.
want to start? Can you think of one?
Um, you go ahead first, and then let me think of one while
Okay,
while I
okay.
listen to yours.
I think the first one I think of is when people send a spouse or another person to their dog's appointment and they have no idea what's going on with
Oh,
the
yeah.
dog. Like, zero helpful, absolutely no clue what's going on. They don't know why they're there. They don't know what medicines they take. And we spend half the appointment just trying to figure out why the dog is even here.
Yeah, that is really annoying. We do also not love that.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that clients will sometimes do is that they will come in to bring their sick animal when they themselves are also quite ill.
Oh, yeah.
Some people wear masks and are kind of nice about it. Other people just kind of like half cover their mouth and hope for the best. So that's
Yeah.
pretty
Oh.
annoying.
I don't think people realize too, a vet hospital is full of just confined spaces. So you have the lobby, you have exam rooms, you have a treatment area. And when you come in sick, you infect the hospital. And as we all know, illness in hospitals spread like wildfire. So
Oh, yeah.
if you are sick, please do not come in with your dog. Reschedule if it's a wellness appointment or have somebody else come in. We love you, but we do not want to catch your illnesses.
No.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I think a weird one that we saw occasionally at the ER is it annoyed me when people had the money and the means to afford treatments, but just simply elected not to
Right.
because they don't see the dog as something they want to put money into.
Right. Like it's not worth their time that day.
Exactly. It was really hard. We would have cases at the ER where people would drive expensive cars, pull in, they'd have their designer handbags on them, and their dog would need something, relatively expensive done, but they clearly had some kind of means to provide.
Right.
And they just declined it for no reason. They just didn't want to do it.
No,
It never became I don't have the money to do it. It's just, I just don't want to do it. Quick story that we had at the ER. Family came in with their little lab puppy, very, very young, probably 8 or 10 weeks old. And they came in because one of the children had stepped on the dog and it broke a leg.
Oh.
So we took an x-ray, confirmed the break. It was a pretty bad fracture. Came back in after the x-rays were done. We told the family, we need to put a cast on it, immobilize the bone so it can stay in place and not break anymore. And then you need to go to an orthopedic specialist and have surgery done.
Right.
So it needs to be pinned, it needs to be put back in place. And you would have thought these people looked at us like we had 3 heads. They were like, orthopedic specialists? What? We're not going to do that. They equated it to, this dog's like a side table. It's like a piece of furniture. We're not going to put money into that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So that was a rough one. I still think about that dog a lot. I really hope it did get medical care because they simply just did not want to do it.
Oh, they left and you never found out what happened. That's always
No.
the worst too. That's annoying to not know
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah, yeah, that's annoying in a frustrating way to not. There's sometimes in ER situations where you're okay with just that we fix them and they leave, we fix them and they leave. But sometimes not having that what happened can ear at you a little bit. You can't think about it too much, but I think about that puppy quite often. This was probably 10 years ago at this point that this happened, and I hope that dog is just, if you're out there, I hope you're thriving and I hope you're living your best life.
No.
Ooh, I wonder if I should do a things that my coworkers do that annoy me.
Things that my coworkers do.
Although I'm sure there are probably people that don't like working with me. I probably ruffle some feathers up. I'm sure.
I mean,
I'm sure I've been not the best to work with sometimes.
that is too funny.
I don't know if you're like this at work, but I feel like I have 3 modes. I have normal, just go, go, go mode. I'm just ready to get stuff done. And then sometimes you're a little goofy and everyone's being all giddy and fun. And then other times I just radio silent if something is wrong.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. There's 3. We got a dislike button the other day. It's like it's one of our timers that broke, so it just goes every time. So I put a Facebook like dislike thumb on it, and every time we have like any need to get out our little anger, it'll be like a and you just press it,
Making it known that I'm just not in a good mood.
that I dislike that. That's awful.
Oh, coworkers who worked with me for a long time too, they would know. They would pick up like, oh crap, Sam's quiet. Something's wrong.
Right. What's going on this morning?
Yeah,
You all right?
exactly.
Did you have your coffee?
Exactly. And I think working with a staff in general that you're so close with every day, you kind of learn each other's behavior.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't know, do you have people at your hospital that you work with that you can spot what's going on a mile away?
Yeah, people who come in more quiet in the morning that you're like, is everything all right? Do you need anything? You just kind of turn up the music a little bit that morning. Yeah.
Do you need a hug? Do you need a donut?
I don't think anybody at the clinic really wants a hug at where I am. I mean, just Anna. Just Anna always wants
Anna
a hug.
always takes the hug.
Anna will always take a hug.
We love it. Right, Anna? Thank you so much for coming on. Tell me about your dog. It was great to hear your stories about working with Anna and Vader and your cat at home. We will do eventually an episode about cats.
Oh, okay.
But for now, it's just about the dogs. But we do love our cats. So
Ew.
thank you for including your cat in your story.
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too. Well, that is all for this episode of Tell Me About Your Dog. Please be sure to follow the show on YouTube and Spotify, and follow Tell Me About Your Dog podcast on Instagram, where I would love to hear your stories and topics you'd like to hear more about from people like us. I'll see you next time.